Friday Night Glory, Kenny Matthews here in the backyard tonight with this COVID-19 virus. It's ridiculous. All the season, UIL canceled the spring sessions. I got a track coach sitting here next to me. I know that's something that he did not like, but you know, it is what it is, guys. But I want to talk to Coach Robert Brandenber from North Garland, the Pirates, defensive line coach. And Robert, what have you guys been doing this period of time? I mean, I know you're an English teacher, so you got curriculum, but how are you keeping you guys motivated?
Right now, we've been setting up workouts at home. That's actually part of their classwork. I mean, athletics is a class, so we have to have them do something. So we put a program together, body weight, jaw, push-ups. It's what they can do. If they have facilities at home, we say do what you can. But a lot of the kids don't. So it's like going, take care of your family. I mean, first and foremost, take care of your family, take care of yourself kind of a situation, especially through the uncertainty during this whole time. And that's what I think is hard on everybody is we just don't know, and we're learning as we're going, and we'll learn something and then it might change. So,
well, I remember talking to you a couple of weeks ago. You said, you know, a lot of your kids didn't have access to the internet. You know, some do and some don't. So that kind of makes it kind of hard to do a virtual type deal with everybody on the team there. Are the players reaching out to you via text or calls at all or anything of that nature?
They're getting a hold of the head coach. The head coach has been keeping in contact. Yeah, Coach Castillo. He's been doing a real good job keeping contact with them. We've been really busy. The assistant coaches are busy with their classes. We're just taking care of, okay, is this right? What do we have to do now? What training do we have to do now? And it's learning as you're going. And we're actually starting to now start looking at for next year. So do what we would consider our springtime would be right now. So we're kind of going, all right, let's try to keep a semblance of our humanity, of what we're used to. So we've been doing some more chats. We use Google instead of Zoom. We've been doing Google Meets, and it's been actually very productive for us. We're allowed to, see each other, talk, and do our usual coaches stuff. But it actually, now we're learning how more effective we can be, I think, with everything that we've been doing. We're learning this, and we're like this, hey, we may not do it like this, but we can take this part, and this will work really well. I know last year I used the technology for the off-season, for the summer conditioning, where I never had pieces of papers. I just did everything on computer. I said, it's go into the classroom. And so they all have their phone, because they all have phones. So I go like this, they go like this, bring your phone. So it was a teaching thing where I go, that's where you're going to do it. And that's what real life is going to do. You're going to say, you get to it. And everything. I'm not going to give you a piece of paper.
That's good stuff. I mean, I know everybody's kind of going on the fly this. I mean, we've never been in something of this situation, but I could see where this kind of, you could try new things a little bit and see what kind of works, what doesn't kind of work with the downtime here. And I guess it's kind of you can initiate some stuff, maybe ideas that maybe the coach might not have been open to last year. You might be open to this year just because you're trying to figure out ways to get things done.
I think that's for almost everybody. That is, someone says, hey, try this. I never would have thought about that. Or it was to the point where I don't have time to learn it. And now we're like going, oh, no, we have to learn it. It's not an option, it's a necessity. And I think it's helping us as coaches. It's allowing us to grow. Because, I mean, let's be honest, I mean, sometimes the older you get, the more stubborn you get. And you go, I don't want to listen to that, I don't want to learn that. And then now we're going, wow, that's actually better, and it's more efficient, and these kids are more engaged. And that's really what you have to think about it. I mean, we're doing things as coaches, and all we're ever doing is trying to put them in the best position to succeed. We're on the sidelines, but they're the ones who are making the plays. And when we call a play, it's for them to be successful. When we practice, is going, this is how you're successful. And it's the same thing in the classroom. I teach them a skill so they can learn, and then they can communicate so they can be successful. And that's all we're doing as teachers and coaches, is allowing kids to be successful.
And I like how you've always reiterated that to me over the years about, hey, I'm not here to try to maybe get the kid to college, but I'm here to give him some communication skills so he can go to a trade school or get a job or do something that, he wants to do. But you've got to have those communication skills. I mean, that's essential. I mean, to have it. Let me ask you this. When you got your degree at K-State in English, do you ever think you'd be doing virtual teaching?
No. I just remember taking those first programming classes, and I was like going the old Commodores, and I'm like going, and I see what they're using now. I mean, everything's on their smartphone. I'm like going, man, this is like Dick Tracy stuff, and it's starting to date me that I actually say Dick Tracy, and these kids are, who's that? But no, I never thought of myself. Actually, I never thought of myself in this position. I mean, my goal when I went to college was to be a college coach, and I was lucky enough to do that. I did it for 7 years. Tried something else, got out, and I was like going, that's not me. And I decided to try the high school teaching and coaching. And to be honest, I thought I was going to stink at it. But I've been around some really good mentors. I've been lucky enough, been around state champions, coaches, coaches that know how to, have been very successful at communicating with these kids. And when I started, I was not good at it. And I learned through these coaches, Ronnie Gage, the Wassam families. I worked with one at the one Wassam at Louisville. Coach Castillo, I've learned loads of things.
All right, Coach, still a lot. Got to meet the last couple of years with your boys beating up my Trojans.
Yeah, that was some good stuff for us. And then Coach Samples and everybody down when I was in Duncanville, I've just learned a lot, and I've been very lucky in that situation, and hopefully I can continue. And really,
I was going to ask you just one last question, kind of one last thing about the Duncanville thing. I mean, did you kind of take a lot of pride in seeing, some of those players that you coached when you were in the junior high ranks, getting up there? And, I mean, obviously being 1 or 2 plays away from state championship ring, but seeing them develop, I guess, would be probably one of the things I'm sure that you're really happy about.
Yeah, and that's always been the case. Seeing those kids being successful, talking to my old staff when I was over at down Kinnemer Middle School, and we were just texting during the games and go like this, hey, look at that, that's awesome. I mean, we were happy, and then we were wow at what happened. But it was also the same thing when I was working in the college ranks, where I saw some of the players that I worked with get drafted.
Well, these guys, he did work with Mike Leach up in Washington State, Pullman, yes. I mean, that's a nice feather in the cap.
Yeah, well, actually, before Leach, I was there with Mike Price.
That's right.
And Mike Price, and again...
Right before he went to Alabama, right?
Exactly. And again, like I said, I just learned, I just sat and I basically kept my mouth shut and just said, I'm just going to soak this in.
Right.
And learned so much from him. And seeing those individuals get drafted, I mean, I was there with Ryan Leaf and seeing Ryan get taken as high as he did. Then Lamont Thompson taken by the Bengals. Marcus Trufant, third pick. Oh, exactly. I'm just like going, I mean, again, I was lucky to be around that, and I thank the big guy upstairs that I've been blessed to be around individuals like that, and individuals that helped shape my perception of giving, like I said, trying to get people to be successful.
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about last season. You guys, knock it on that door the year before, and then you start off 3-1 this year, and I guess you guys are basically, 4 points away from being in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, because
you have a 1 point loss to Saxe, and then I believe to Rowlett.
Yep.
And then a 3 point loss to Saxe. Saxe, yes. So I know you had big envisions of, you had some expectations in getting into the playoffs last year. Can I ask you kind of what happened in the middle of the season when then you guys seemed like you got better as the season got on after that little tail in the middle?
It was just the district. I know everybody goes like this. The Garland. I was like, oh no, it was even last year. I know Saxe's always been their powerhouse and everything. Rowlett's always been a powerhouse, and Naaman's been coming on strong.
I was going to say Naaman, of course, yeah.
So, and with their new coaching staff, so we did not know what to expect from them, kind of till we ended up playing them. And with our kids, the senior group put North Garland back on the map.
I was going to say that. You really said that you had a really experienced bunch that kind of went through some of the growing pains, but they got better in the last couple of years. I mean, they've made you guys pretty relevant again.
Yeah, and that's because of their hard work. When they showed up, we were happy. We got them because, again, Garland's very unique in the way they do things. And they just progressed. At times gave us challenge, but again, they're young men learning. So part of, I think, being in high school athletics, not just football, but women's volleyball, all that is, yeah, you can always have that success. You want the success, but having them just go through that journey and everything of, did we get there? I go, and that's one thing that we always teach in life. We're like this. Sometimes that reward is not what you think. It's something else. And I think our kids did learn a good portion of that. And they've had this, we've had a couple signed to go on to the next level, so we're happy with them. And I know they'll do well. And we wish them the best in their choices of careers in life.
Yeah, absolutely. My last question to be to you, I mean, pending, let's say we're going to have a football season. It's going to start in August, September, whatever may be the case. I know you got a little inexperience, graduated a lot of people last year. What do you think what are your expectations kind of going in once you can kind of maybe get the guys back around, maybe midsummer or at the beginning of August?
We're lucky enough, the underclassmen, we're learning a lot from the seniors that we had. We had a lot of juniors play last year. Garland doesn't have the huge numbers, so everybody plays.
Up there, shoot the smallest enrollment in, or
we're actually one of the biggest.
You're the largest.
Our football numbers are for one of the biggest 6A schools in the area. We just don't have the greatest amount of numbers. So our kids learn to play both ways, and they do, and that's what I think really helps our kids in just growing. They're forced to do things that go like this. I'm just a receiver. Well, you've got to be a DB too.
It's tough enough to play this sport one side of the ball, but you got to turn around and do it the other way when you're getting tired late in the third and the fourth quarter. I mean, that's pulling into that's gut wrenching sometimes.
And I think that's what helps our underclassmen is because they're forced to learn both. They go like this. You're backing up offense and defense. By the way, you're going to go play offense right now. Okay. Oh, but what? Third quarter, no, I need you on defense. So it's them having to really process 2 playbooks and process all the things that we practice. And we're really proud of how our kids do it. Now, sometimes is it successful on the scoreboard? No. But the growth that we see in our kids and the leadership that Joe has for the program really, I think, sets the North Garland kids up for their life.
Yeah, I really like Coach Castillo. He's a really nice guy. I've gotten to talk to him a couple times at North Garland and at Newman Smith, obviously, after a couple of games. And, he's got that thing going in the right direction, and I mean, he's easy. And I think the other thing is you guys have reasonably kept your staff together, too. So, I mean, that kind of helps.
We have not had turnover. In my 4 years there, I think we've only turned over maybe 3 or 4 coaches.
That's significant.
Oh yeah, we have a really good staff. We work all very well together. We complement each other. We all know the understanding of how North Garland has to operate. So we know how to work with each other. And I think that really does help us out in terms of getting these kids in better positions.
That's excellent. Well, hey, Kenny Matthews here, Friday Night Glory, with my good friend Robert Brandenber. I appreciate everything, the candor. Wanted to kind of get some new material out there and get the Garland represented a little bit also here at the same time. And, man, I've always wished you well, and I think you guys are doing an excellent job over there considering what it was 6-7 years ago, what North Garland was to what it is now. That's a testament to you guys also, not just the players on the field.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you for the call.
No problem. Kenny Matthews, Friday Night Glory.